Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss various parts of an articulator. This is the part 2 of the lecture articulator. We have discussed the part 1 in the previous lecture. I hope you have all enjoyed that video, and in that section we have discussed the classifications of an articulator and also based on the brief history of the articulator. So today we'll discuss the parts of a semi-adjustable and non-adjustable articulator in detail and also the mounting procedures. It is very beneficial for the BDS and MDS students, so don't skip this video. So coming to the non-adjustable articulator, most of the restorations which are made on this type of articulators, but their use often lead to restoration with various occlusal discrepancies, because these instruments do not have the capacity to reproduce the full range of mandibular movements. Only the vertical motion is only possible through this articulators. Okay. This is the picture showing a small non-adjustable articulator, and here there are various discrepancies in the path of closure. Okay. Here the restorations to have premature occlusal contacts. So anatomically accurate articulator which shows an accurate path of closure. And with the small non-adjustable articulators, the radius of the path of closure is smaller. Okay. This results in the premature contact at clinical try-in between the premolars during hinge closure. So this is the reason why it is there is a premature occlusal contacts. So the arc of closure is smaller in the non-adjustable articulator. Okay. Coming to the parts of a mean value articulator. Why it is called mean value articulator? Actually, it is a non-adjustable articulator, and this articulator is designed using fixed dimensions. Okay, there are various fixed dimensions are there, which can be derived from the average distance between the incisal and condylar guidance of the population. So it is based on various average values. So it's called a mean value articulator. So let's discuss what are the parts of this articulator. This one is the upper member. Okay. Here, this is the condylar shaft and the slot with spring. This is the lower member. And these are the two additional pins for orientation and support. Then, this is the two vertical arms on either side which hold the upper and lower members together. This is the incisal adjustment screw. This is the incisal pin. This is the mid-incisal pin. This one is the mid-incisal pin. And this is the incisal pin table. Okay. See, it is not adjustable. Okay. These are fixed ones. So, these are the parts of a non-adjustable articulator, mainly mean value articulator. So, this is the condylar shaft. We have already discussed the condylar shaft and the slot with spring-loaded mechanism. Only spring-load. Okay, just spring-loaded mechanism is there. This is the incisal pin adjustment screw. This one. This is the incisal pin. This is the mid-incisal pin, and this is the incisal tape. And these are the support arms and orientation arm. Two arms are okay. Support arm and orientation. And this is the schematic diagram which shows the non-adjustable articulator that is capable showing only opening and closing. So opening and closing movements are only possible. by the non-adjustable articulator. And here, this is an arc-on articulator where the condylar elements are attached to the lower member. What is the structure of an articulator? Generally, articulator can be described as a trianguloid apparatus. It consists of upper member and lower member. What does this upper member represents? This upper member represents the maxilla and the lower member represents the mandible. And the upper member is the triangular metal plate and lower member is a L-shaped frame. Okay. And these two members articulate around the condylar cadence. The condylar cadence represents the glenoid fossa of temporomandibular joint. This is the vertical rod, okay, or incisal pin. It separates the upper and lower triangular components in the anterior edge. And the vertical rod rests on the incisal table of lower member, also known as incisal gate table. So this is the structure of an articulator. Okay. So this is the incisal gate table. This is the articulated maxillary cast to upper member of a mean value articulator. Here this is the triangular upper member with the projecting condylar elements on the side. And the circle at the apex. Okay, this is the circle at the apex of the triangle. It denotes the location of vertical rod or incisal pin. And this is the L-shaped lower member. It allows the incisal cadence at free end of horizontal arm and condylar cadence at the superior end of the vertical arm. And that is about the various parts of a non-adjustable articulator. And coming to briefly on the articulation procedures. Here this is the horizontal orientation arm and the mid-incisal pin joined with the help of a thread to guide the occlusal plane orientation during articulation. Okay, so this will give the orientation of plane during articulation. Then placing of the wax blocks where two in the posterior region and one in the anterior region. It is basically to support the cast with the occlusal ribs. See, here the casts are supported in these wax blocks. Okay. This is the sealed maxillary and mandibular cast positioned in the articulator. Here the tip of the incisal pin is oriented to the midline of the junction of occlusal rims anteriorly. Okay. So this is the tip of the incisal pin. Here this is the midpoint or midline at the junction of the occlusal rims in anteriorly. And the occlusal plane should run parallel to the thread connecting the incisal pin and horizontal orientation arm. So it should run parallel to the thread connecting the pin and orientation. And this is the completed articulation. See, here the mounting is done using plasters. Okay. Coming to the semi-adjustable articulators, we have all known that semi-adjustable articulators are of two types, arc-on and non-arc-on articulators. What are those arc-on articulators? Actually, the arc-on, the term itself was given by Bergstrom from the words articulator and the condyle. These are the various types of semi-adjustable articulator, basically arc-on type of articulator. This is the Hanover Wideview articulator. This is Dinar Mark 330 and this is the Whip Mix model 2240 articulator. So there are basically two designs of a semi-adjustable articulator, arc-on and non-arc-on. Okay. These are the arc-on type and these are the non-arc-on type. Hano wide view series, they are arc-on type, and Hano H series are non-arc-on type. These non-arc-on instruments gained considerable popularity in the complete denture prosthodontics because the upper and lower members are rigidly attached in the non-arc-on type. So, easier control when the artificial teeth are positioned. But as the consequence of their designs, certain inaccuracies occur in the cast restorations, and it will lead to the development of arc-on type of articulators. So, what is arc-on? As the name suggests, condylar element in the lower member, that is arc-on, and the condylar element in the upper member, it is non-arc-on. So here in this picture, this is the condylar element, and see, this is present in the lower member of the articulator, and this is the upper member, and here this is the condylar element. See, this is in the upper member of the articulator. Okay, so condylar element in the lower member, that is arc-on. Condylar element in the upper member, it is non-arc-on. Simple. Okay. It can be memorized that as arc-on. Okay, so arc-on can be split into R and con. So con, it is in the lower member, that is condylar element in the lower member, it is arc-on type. Condylar element in the upper member, it is non-arc-on type. Simple. Okay. And let's discuss what are the parts of a semi-adjustable articulator. These are the various parts. Support rod for the upper member, lock screw for the incisal pin. This is the curved calibrated incisal pin. This is the mid incisal groove. Here this is the incisal table, it is detachable. This is the infraorbital plane indicator. This is the upper member. Here this is the lock nut for horizontal condylar inclination, and this is for the condylar sphere. This is the condylar track or path. This is the condylar sphere. This is the condylar assembly. This is the calibration for the horizontal condylar inclination. This is the condylar post. This is the lower member. This is the lock nut for the lateral condylar inclination. This is the screw for moving the condylar sphere. And here this is the calibration for the lateral condylar inclination. And come in detail the various parts of a arc-on type of semi-adjustable articulator. This is Hanno wide view articulator. Okay. And these Hanno wide view articulators are classified as semi-adjustable articulators, and they are of arc-on principle. What is this arc-on principle? Here the condylar guidances which are associated with the upper articulator member. This is the upper articulator member, and here this is the condylar guidance. As the patient's glenoid fossa is a portion of the cranium. This is the glenoid fossa. Okay. And the condyle of the articulator or condylar element is a part of the lower member. This is the lower member as the condyle of the patient's mandible. Hence, the articulator movements can be directly related to the anatomical function of the patient. And this is the arc-on principle. Okay. So we have already discussed this picture. Here the radius of the arc of closure which affects the likelihood of interferences. So in this picture, it shows the anatomically accurate articulator which shows the accurate path of closure. But with the small non-adjustable articulator, the radius of path is smaller. Hence, it results in the premature contact at try-in between premolars during hinge closure. These are the pictures showing archon and non-archon articulators. These are the, here these two are the archon type of articulators and these are the non-archon articulators. What is the advantage of this archon design? Here the condylar inclination of mechanical fossa is at a fixed angle to the maxillary occlusal plane. So, what is this advantage? The advantage is that it is a fixed condylar angle is there. Okay, with the maxillary occlusal plane when opening and closing. But in the case of non-archon articulator, when the articulator is opened, the angle changes. See, this is the angle when we get if the articulator is closed. But this is the angle when in a non-archon articulator when it is open. So the angle changes when the articulator is open. It can lead to the errors when a protrusive record is being used to program the articulator. So these are the differences between archon and non-archon articulators. So we will discuss the following parts in detail. That is, so parts of a semi-adjustable articulator can be condylar guidance or element, Bennett angle adjustment, centric lock, incisal gate table and incisal gate pin, condylar relator, counterpart for the earpiece and accessory attachments. So let's discuss one by one in detail. What is condylar guidance or the condylar element? The mandibular guidance, which is created by the condyle and the articular disc traversing the contour of the glenoid fossa. Okay. And the mechanical form which is located in the upper posterior region, it controls the movement of mobile members. This is the condylar guidance actually. It is a mandibular guidance generated by the condyle and the disc traversing through the glenoid fossa. And the condylar guidance, it is a circular structure with a slot in the center. Okay, the condylar element of the lower member articulates with this slot, also called the condylar track. So, condylar track can be open or closed track. What is closed track? This is the closed track condylar guidance. It has a complete circular structure. So, this is the condylar element. It is in the lower member. So, closed track condylar guidance is seen in archon articulator. So, this is the condylar track. This is centric stop. And then this is the condylar rim. So, this is the open track. Actually, this open track is not a complete circle. Here, the track opens out at one side, giving it a U shape. So, this one, that is open track condylar guidance, facilitates easy removal and reattachment of the upper member of the articulator. Okay, here the condylar rim is open. And this is the condylar guidance. Actually, these are the control centers of the articulator. And it adjustably assimilates the multiple function of the glenoid fossa. Okay. And this is the condylar assembly. Here, this shows the horizontal condylar calibration, and this is the lateral condylar calibration. So for adjusting the horizontal condylar inclination, the condylar assembly moved up and down here in this step. Okay, move up and down. And for adjusting the lateral condylar inclination, moved right and left as shown in this figure. Okay. And for zeroing of the articulator, these angles are set at 30 degrees. Okay. So this is the condylar guidance. Here it is from 0 to plus 60 degree or 0 to minus 20 degree. And these inclinations are termed as protrusive inclination. It simulates the patient superior wall of the fossa. And also it can be adjusted on the vertical axis from 0 to sagittal to 30 degree. And this angle is called progressive Bennett angle. It corresponds to the medial wall of the patient's fossa. So this is the condylar assembly. Okay. And this is the centric lock. Here this one is the centric lock screw in Hanau-White view articulator, and this is the Whip-Mix centric latch in the Whip-Mix articulator. Okay. And this is the condylar track. See, this is a closed condylar track. So it is seen in the Archon type of articulator. Hence the condylar guidance track rotates in an enclosed housing which stops the condylar element, preventing the accidental disengagement of the upper member. Okay. And this is the fixed centric stop. It has a centric stop at the posterior end of the track to limit the anterior movement of the condylar element. When the element rests against the stop, it is at the centric, the point from which the protrusive or Bennett angles both emanate. Okay. And this is the PR screw. What is PR? That is protrusive retrusive. The micrometer adjustment permits the condylar element to be protruded 6 mm from centric or to be retruded 3 mm from centric. This is the adjustable protrusive retrusive. And these are the condylar shaft. Here this is the condylar shaft and this is the bumper, resilient bumper. Okay. So condylar shaft adjustably slide in the wings of the lower member. And they are fixed by set screws when their brass shoulders rest against the flattened sides of condylar elements at the cerocentric position. This is the cerocentric bumper. Okay. And the resilient bumper will protectively stop the upper member and rest against the wing of the lower member when fully open the articulator. And coming to the Bennett movement. Bennett movement is the bodily shift of the mandible toward the working side during the lateral excursion. This is the progressive side shift and this is the immediate or early side shift. And the Bennett side shift or Bennett movement can be discussed separately in a session. Now this is the Bennett angle adjustment. Here this is the for a Hanau articulator, that is h by 8 plus 12. See, this is the 38 degree protrusive inclination, that is HCI is 38. Then what is the Bennett angle? That is h by 8 plus 12. That is 38 by 8 plus 12. It is 17 degree. Okay. So ideally, lateral condylar inclination is of 17 degree for this type of articulator. Okay. And this is for the Whip-Mix articulator. Coming to the incisal guidance, it is actually the influence of contacting surface of the anterior teeth on mandibular movement. So, it is the contact of the anterior teeth. So, anterior teeth or mandibular incisors are responsible for this incisal guidance. On an articulator, this is the influence of the contacting surface of the gate pin and the gate table on the articulator movement. So, this is the incisal guidance on an articulator. And this is the incisal pin. There are various type of incisal pins are there. This is the dual end foot incisal pin. This is the micro pin. This is the curve incisal pin. And this is the adjustable incisal pin. And this is the incisal gate pin. Okay. Here, this is the pin, incisal pin. And this is a dual end incisal pin. Why it is known as dual end incisal pin? Because it had two ends. Okay, it has two ends. The spherical tip and the chisel end. Okay. And what are the parts of an incisal pin? These are the millimeter calibrations. These are the millimeter calibrations. And this is the midline. This is the flat side. And this is the chisel end. This one is the chisel end aligned with the central table. And this is the dual end incisal pin. So here this is the thumb screw. In this picture shows the thumb screw. This is the upper member. Okay. So coinciding with these condylar shaft adjustments is the alignment of the chisel edge of the incisal pin with the central table of incisal gate. See, the chisel edge is aligned with the central table of the incisal gate. And this serves the forward control of the articulator. And it maintains the vertical stop. It provides a contact for the excursive movements of articulator against various guiding surfaces of the incisal gate. And there is a midline groove is there. It cut in the incisal pin. See, about 1 inch from the spherical tip. Here there are 5 additional lines are there. It is calibrated in millimeters, extended either side. And these lines are used for recording or altering the vertical dimension. Okay, these are the millimeter calibrations. They are used to alter the vertical dimension. Here this is the Frankfurt horizontal plane, and these one are the annular grooves. They are the 2 annular grooves, and this is the horizontal plane. So this is the incisal pin, which is the chisel edge of it is aligned with the central table of the incisal gate table. Okay, and this is the thumb screw. It is helped to adjust the incisal pin. And this adjustment places the chisel end at 90 degree in contact with the central table of incisal gate. It provides the parallelism of the upper member and the lower member. Okay. And this incisal pin extends beyond the top of the upper member and provides a third point of stability when inverting the articulator for the mandibular cast mounting. This is the inverting of the articulator for the mandibular cast mounting. So, here it provides a third point of stability. Okay. And the spherical tip of the incisal pin serves as the dual end. It is useful for fabricating customized acrylic anterior gate tables also. These are the 2 annular grooves. Okay. Here this is the annular groove. And what does it represent? Actually, this is the annular groove. It appears on the incisal pin at 37 millimeter below the Frankfurt horizontal plane. And this picture shows the Frankfurt horizontal plane, and this is the first annular groove, that is 37 mm below the FH plane. And this one is the second annular groove, that is 54 mm below the occlusal Frankfurt horizontal plane. And these grooves form arbitrary vertical landmarks for the alignment of incisal edge of the maxillary centrals when making a facebow transfer. Okay, this is the facebow transfer using a mounting jig. Okay, so these grooves provide these grooves form the arbitrary landmarks for the alignment of incisal edge of the maxillary central when making a facebow transfer. And this 37 mm line is a part of the Bonville triangle and results in generally horizontal appearing the plane of occlusion. And this is the 54 mm. It forms the average landmark for alignment of incisal edge of upper centrals when making a facebow transfer. Okay. And these are the various types of incisal gate tables. This is the adjustable type. This is the custom incisal gate table, and this is the flat plastic incisal table. So this is the adjustable incisal table. Here it is noted that the width of the incisal table, that is 5.56 mm width. This is the zero indicating line. This one is the zero indicating line. This is the lock nut, small lock nut. Okay. And these are the condylar relators and counterpart for the earpiece. This is for Hanau wide view. And coming to the accessory attachments, these are the orbital indicator, cast support and mounting plates. Here, this is the orbital indicator. Here, this is the orbital indicator. Okay. When the facebow is attached to the articulator for transfer the recorded relationship of maxilla by ensuring that the corresponding cast is attached in the correct position in relation to hinge axis of the instrument. Noted that the orbital pointer of the facebow, it should touch the orbital indicator of the articulator. So this is the orbital pointer of the facebow. Okay, this is the orbital indicator of the articulator. So it should touch when doing the facebow transfer to the articulator. Okay. This crescent, which represents the patient's infraorbital notch, and it is the anterior reference landmark for the Frankfurt horizontal plane. So when used with the orbital pointer on a facebow, it provides an anatomical vertical orientation for the upper arch. That is the use of any average reference lines on the incisor plane. Okay. Then these are the mounting plates. What are the parts of a mounting plate? Dowel, threaded thumb screw, keyway, luting slots, threaded brass insert, double hole. This is a cast support. It supports the bite fork or bite plane index during facebow transfer to the articulator. It preventing the vertical displacement by cast weight and gypsum mounting. And finally, this is an instrument case. This is an attractive and durable case which has been constructed to contain the articulator and the facebow. And it provides protective storage and transfer to or from the laboratory specifically for wide view articulators. Okay. Coming to the articulator preparation, these are the Bennett thumb nuts, Bennett angles, protrusive inclinations, condylar guidance, protrusive thumb nut, centric lock, platform lock screw, small lock nut. This is the 0 degree. This is incisal gate, incisal pin, incisal thumb screw, midline registration, upper member mounting plate. So this is the articulator preparation of a Hanau wide view articulator. This is the maxillary orientation. See, this is the upper member, this is the lower member, and this is the bite fork attached. Okay, this is the transfer rod, bite fork index assembly. This is the socket, tapered set screw. This is the wrench. This is pivot, and this is the occlusal index. This is the mounting gate. Okay, so this is the maxillary orientation. Here, the base bow is attached to the articulator to transfer the recorded relationship of maxilla, and by ensuring that the corresponding cast is attached to the correct position in relation to hinge axis of the instrument. Okay. After the maxillary cast is attached to the articulator with mounting stone or plaster, mandibular cast is related to the maxillary cast with an intraocclusal record. Okay. So if the patient's casts are accurately transferred to an instrument, considerable time is saved in the fabrication and delivery of high quality prosthesis. So this is the mounting of the maxillary cast, and here this is the mounting of the mandibular cast by inverting the articulator. See, here this is the incisal pin which acts as the third point of stability. Okay. That's all about the articulator parts and its preparation. Okay. And I have discussed face bow in detail in my lecture in my previous videos. You can watch that video, and I have given that links in the description box. Okay, so coming to the basic requirements, uses, and the limitations. What are the basic requirements of an articulator? It holds the cast in correct vertical and horizontal position, and it must have positive anterior stop and accept face bow transfer. Then open and close in hinge movement and allow for protrusive and lateral motion. The moving parts should be moved freely and be accurately machined, but the rigid parts or non-moving parts should be of rigid construction. Additional requirements are adjustable horizontal and lateral condylar gate elements. Condylar element is lower frame, condylar gate in upper frame. Removable mounting plates, terminal hinge position locking device, except third point of reference. This is the adjustable incisal gate table and adjustable intercondylar with graphic tracings. And the uses are for diagnosis, treatment planning, and patient presentation in both the artificial and natural dentitions, to plan various dental procedures, to aid in the fabrication of dental restorations and lost dental parts, to correct and modify completed restorations, teaching and studying of occlusion and mandibular movements, and finally the limitations, subject to error in tooling and to error resulting from metal fatigue and wear, does not completely duplicate the condylar movements in the temporomandibular joints. Movements simulated are empty mouth sliding motions, not functional movements. We all know mouth is the best articulator, but we don't use it. Why? Because it interferes with the patient's saliva, tongue, and cheeks. Shifting of the denture bases will occur. Resiliency of the supporting tissues. Inability of humans to detect visually subtle changes in motion. And inability to know the exact location of condyles, and more chairside time. And that is all for today's lecture. Please do like, share, and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.